Hi guys, and welcome back to the second part of this tutorial series. This part is called Modeling the House, and this is where James and I will take you through all the different sort of tips and how to do modeling in SketchUp, so how to model this house. So if we click onto the next slide here, so we're at stage 2 now of our workflow that we've kind of talked you through. So the last video, stage 1, just to recap, was importing everything into SketchUp from AutoCAD, and then we showed you a few, sort of basic ways of getting around and snap tools and stuff. Again, if you want a refresher on that, or you didn't really understand what we were saying, have a look on YouTube and you might find someone who maybe explains it differently or better. So this stage then, we're modeling the house. So James is going to take you through making the walls and the roofs and the main structure of the house, and then at the end I'll show you how to add things like doors and windows. And yeah, that'll be everything in stage 2. So good luck.
Hi guys, welcome back to part 2 of this architectural diagram series. What we're going to cover in this is the actual 3D modelling of the previous example that Scott had in the first part. And what we're going to start doing is we're going to start modelling the exterior walls and the interior walls. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use the pencil tool up the top here, and we're just going to simply trace round the exterior walls, okay, using the guides and points from Scott's first tutorial. And once you've done the perimeter here, we're then going to come in and we're going to do the internal leaf of the exterior wall. Okay. Nice and simple. Like that. Okay. And once you've kind of traced around this, you're going to head up to the push-pull tool. And you can see here that there's kind of been separated in what you can extrude up. Okay. So we're going to take the external walls here and we're going to click once and we're going to pull up. You can see you can pull up in the Z axis. Now what we're going to do is, obviously you're going to be wanting to make the scale specific, so you should already have an idea of what height your building is going to be. So for instance, we'll make this 3 meters high, okay, and the process of doing this is you have at the bottom right hand side here you can see you have a distance meter, okay, and as you move that, it goes up and down. Now you can actually just type in on your number pad the height that you want this. So if it's 3 meters, for instance, we'll type 3000 millimeters and click enter, and the extruded height is at 3 meters. Okay, so nice and simple. So the next one we'll do is we'll do it for the interior walls. So again, using the pencil tool, we head down, and now what we need to do is we need to trace around all the internal walls. Okay. Again, using these guides to your advantage and keeping you on track to what you need to do. This is real nitty gritty. And again, using the pan and orbit tools as well, just to make sure you can see all your lines and where you're hitting them. Okay, so that's the internal walls traced just now. And again, up to the push-pull tool and highlight over here, and you can see that the internal walls are now available for extrusion. Okay, so again, one click on these walls and pull up. Now you can either type in the height of these walls again, or another good kind of feature that we can use is they can actually snap to the existing height of your exterior walls. So if you just hover over to your exterior walls there, you can see they automatically snap to that. And if you just left click on there, all the interior walls are aligned with the exterior walls, and that's really good. If you've maybe made an error in the height of the exterior walls, but you need the interior walls to be this like flush with it, I would recommend using the snap tool for that purpose. Okay. We'll do the next part now, which is the kind of smaller part of the building here, which is going to be a flat roof. We're going to make the main body of the building a pitched roof. So again, same process with this. Again, on the line tool, quick trace round. There we go, and then a trace round the interior walls. Go up to the push pull. Exterior walls up, so maybe we want to make I don't know, maybe make this a little bit smaller. Let's make this 2.5 meters, 2500 type. You see it changes in the bottom right hand corner. Enter, and changes there. Okay, now if we want to then we'll quickly, this is going to be a flat roof, so it's going to be a lot simpler to model. So if we use the rectangle tool up the top here and draw from corner to corner, making sure you can see that is on the axis there, like that. It's flat, okay? And we maybe want to add like a little kind of parapet detail onto this roof here, so we can go up to the push pull again, and we can pull down this time the extrusion, and create a small parapet there. Okay. Yeah. So next we'll move on to the roof. Okay, so just for modelling the roof, the next stage that we want to do is, we want to draw a flat plane on top of these exterior and interior walls. Now, a common kind of problem that you'll find is if you just try and draw a rectangle over the top, it doesn't show up. Now, what we need to do is we need to highlight everything here. Now, while holding the shift key, if we just select the kind of floor plan, it deselects it, and what we want to do here is we want to make the building its own group. So again, head up to edit, and we want to make that a group. Okay. Now, when we try and draw this rectangle over, it should stay on top. Now, the reason for this is, SketchUp, everything seems to stick to our objects unless you group them. So we've drawn the square over now, and if we head up to that push pull tool, we can extrude that up. Okay, so we're gonna probably do a pitched roof here. Okay, so similar to Scott's first tutorial, we will draw a ridge. Okay, so again, if we can try and find that midpoint there, pull that back along the kind of guided axis to here. Now, if we head up to the move tool again, as long as we are somewhere on this line here, if we select and we pull up, we can see that we're on the Z axis there. So if your height of roof's another 2 meters, if you type in 2000 millimeters, again down the bottom right, you'll see that, and enter, and you can see here. Now you can also see here that your roof is now see-through, which is not necessarily a good thing, and you might run into a lot of problems here. So what you can do is, if you head up to the pencil tool and draw around the perimeter of your open face. Now sometimes you might not need to draw around the whole thing, sometimes you can just draw the one line, like the joint line between the two, and it will join them, it will make it a flat face. So here we go, we have done it just there. Okay, so it's very simple for the roof, and yeah, so the next thing that we'll do is we'll move on to the windows and doors.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the modeling tutorial. So this is part 3, where we're going to do some doors and windows. So what we can do is sorry, I'm just gonna I've hidden some of the lines there. I'm just gonna unhide them, and I'll show you that again. So we're gonna do a bit more modeling, and we're gonna show the doors and windows and a few other small details. So one thing that's really good to know is to be able to hide things. So at the minute, there's no way we can get into the internals at all if we wanted to edit anything. So what we can do is we can select the faces that we want to hide. So you select one and then you hold down shift and you'll see a little plus minus icon next to it. That lets you select more things, just like AutoCAD. And then we'll also select this edge here as well. And then if you right click, you can see up the top there, there's hide. Okay. And then now you see we can see into the building again. It's just a bit clearer for us to work with. And again, as you just saw a minute ago, to unhide, you go there and click unhide all in the edit menu. Okay. But we'll leave it hidden just now. So we're going to draw a window now. So say we know that the window has to be 800 millimeters in from this edge here. We'll just draw a line somewhere on this edge and make sure it's red there, the line, so you know that it's going along the face of this building. And then we'll just type in 800. Okay, and now what we'll do is we'll go up to the top here and go on shapes, and we'll go for a rectangle. So this will be the first point of it here. And again, if you know the dimensions of your window, say you know it's 2 meters wide by 1 meter tall, you can type this in. So what you do is you type in 2000, and then you have to hit a comma for the rectangle, and that kind of goes for your X and your Y. So 2000 is the X dimension, and the 1000 will be your Y, and that goes after the comma, and hit enter, and there we go. So that's a 2 by 1 rectangle now. And obviously, you know, this line in from the edge, you could do the same thing from the base if you knew it was a certain, for whatever height it is from the ground that your window is. So you'll probably need to do that. We've just done this because it's not a proper project and there's no specific dimensions. But so we'll go up here again to select. We have to delete this kind of guideline that we made as well, just so it doesn't mess anything up later. And yeah, so what we can do now is we can use this basic rectangle to make the rest of the window. So we're going to show you the offset command. So again, you can see it here, and it's very much just like AutoCAD in that it pulls in the lines by a certain distance. If I actually know, we're going to do an extrusion first, and what we're going to do is we're just going to push it in a bit to create that kind of alcove for the window, the recessing of it. So we're just going to do, I don't know, we'll just do say 75 just for random number, but 75 mil in. And then what we'll do is we'll just make a really crude window frame with that offset tool. So we'll click on offset, click on the face, and again it's just click once and release, and then you can scale it to wherever you want. So we're just going to make ours 50 millimeters thick. Okay, so that's 50 millimeters from the outside edge to this new edge you've made, and we're just going to type that in at the bottom right, and 50. There we go. And then what we can do now is if you go back on push pull, you select that interior face. This is our pane of glass at the minute. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pull that right the way through to the back end of this wall, okay? And the best way to do that, again, is with those snap tools. So if I go up the top here, and anywhere on this back line, if I click that, it'll pull the window exactly to there, and then it deletes once it hits the back face, that face there. So that's a quick way to do sort of window. There's no actual glass in there, but it's simple diagrams. That will be enough, I'm sure. So that's really how you would make a window. And then a door is very much the same sort of story, but what we'll do is we'll use another cool command to make a door frame. So we're just going to draw a door here. So if we want it to be, you know, as wide as this path we've made, if we hover over that point there and then pull up from there, we'll use that snap point to kind of lock the file. And then again, if we use over here, we can snap it to there as well. So now it's snapped to the width of the pathway and to the height of the window frame, and then let go. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to draw on the ground here a little sort of door frame trim. Okay, so we're just, I mean, this is just a really made up sort of thing, but you can do, you know, kind of whatever you want with this. We're just drawing a little profile that'll be our sort of door frame trim on the ground, and now it's solid. That means we can extrude it, and we're going to use the follow me tool. Okay, so if you go up here to tools and click on follow me, and then we select the face that we want to use, and then if you see here, as we're moving up this line, it's kind of pulling that shape along it. And the really cool thing about this tool is it goes around corners as well. So it's a really good way to make things like door frames and that sort of stuff. and we could even keep, you know, dragging it along here. It's up to you what you want, but it's a good way to make a kind of quick door frame. I mean, obviously that's very chunky and you wouldn't find one as thick as that in real life, but it's just to show you how we would do that. And then we can use the offset tool again, say on this interior face, and click once, and you know, that can then be a pane of glass in the middle there, you know. It's up to you guys obviously to do, you know, the specifics of what you want something to look like. So if we use the push pull command again, we'll select this face, we'll use push pull, click on that, and again we want to pull it through to this back face here. So any line on top of here, if we click that, and there we go, it's deleted. So as you can see, this works fine as an exterior model, but if we look at the interior, you know, obviously that's not what it would look like on the inside. So, you know, we're just showing you exterior models, but if you want to interior, you know, have interior sort of views as well, that's definitely something you'd have to look at, how you model on the inside of these faces as well. But yeah, so I mean, that's the kind of basics of it. We could do the same thing again. We'll just show you one more of the push-pull follow me commands on the roof here. So we need to unhide these roof lines that we've got rid of. So we go up to view, or sorry, not view, edit, and unhide all. Okay, we're just going to make a sort of edge trim again for the roof, because you wouldn't really, this doesn't look very real at the minute. So what we'll do is we'll just get the pencil tool again, the lines, and we're just going to draw. So out in the x-axis there, we're just going to draw to about here, and we're going to draw here as well, and then we'll go back and just make a little rectangle. We could have done that with the rectangle tool actually, but it's okay. And then we'll go on tools and we'll click follow me again. We'll pick this new face that we've made here, and then what we'll do is we'll pull it along this face here. Okay, so the follow me is really useful for this kind of thing, where you want to, you know, model something along a non-orthogonal line, so like this diagonal line here. It's really useful for doing that. And then again, what we can do is we can wrap that around the building as well, and we can go up the other side, and it's just literally following the mouse here, and all the way back to the start. There we go. So there you have it there. So we've put a sort of edging trim there around it. So these are all the sort of common tools you'll use to model your buildings. And if you join us in the next part, we're going to show you guys how to add models and stuff from the warehouse, and do a little bit of sort of the landscaping around the building. Okay.